Hi, I'm Michael Senoff, founder and CEO of hardtofindseminars.com. For the last 5 years, I've interviewed the world's best business and marketing minds. Now my challenge is to build the world's largest free resource for online, downloadable audio business interviews. I've learned a lot in the last 5 years, and today I'm going to show you the skills you need to survive.
Book dealer had gone through before me and picked up a ton of books, but this one was down in the basement and he completely missed it, and I picked it up for 50 cents and it's worth $350.
Hi, this is Michael Senoff with hardtofindseminars.com. I think you're going to really enjoy this wonderful interview with David. David had contacted me the other day about a rare book he had found at an estate sale of over 3,000 books. I had an interest in the rare book business and had even ordered a few books on the subject recently. David agreed to let me pick his brain and record the entire conversation about his vast experience as a rare book dealer, buyer, and seller. In this recording, here's what you'll learn. You'll learn what edition of rare books collectors never buy. You'll learn how you could find the rarest of rare books, but without this one thing, they are virtually worthless. You'll learn one giveaway to instantly know if your rare book is worth big money. You'll find out the one category of rare books that brings in the most money. You'll find out who buys rare books and how to get the most money for them. You'll find out about a re-emerging fad among movie stars and celebrities that can make you big money buying and selling rare books. You'll find out about one book that could bring up to $250,000. You may even have this one in your attic or basement. If you find a rare book, what's the very first thing you should do to protect yourself? Learn the best place to store your rare books. Learn the truth about what auction house will get you the most money for your rare book, either Christie's or Sotheby's. Find out how to estimate the hammer price before you take your rare book to auction. You'll hear how David got his investment back after buying 3,000 rare books with the proceeds of after selling just 12 books. Learn facts you should know about what a certified copyright report will tell you and how to commission a copyright search in Washington for under $20. You'll also find out how to get a free report called How to Get a Certified Copyright Report. Learn how to get your books published up on Amazon.com. It's a lot easier than you think. You'll need an ISBN number and a barcode for your books. Learn where and how to get one online. And much, much more. Well, you know, when you told me you were a rare book dealer, that is something that really interests me. As a matter of fact, I did some research looking for some books on the rare book business. How did you get into the rare book business?
I had always loved books. I started in 1979 collecting books for myself.
How old are you now?
I'm 46 now.
Okay, where do you live?
Utica, New York. And, the winters are pretty brutal here. In the spring, we have a lot of estate sales and things like that. Back in 1979, when I got started, I was thinking about becoming a Catholic priest, but that was a long time ago. And I had collected a lot of old spiritual books and books written by Catholic authors going back to the mid-1800s. And that's how I kind of got started. I decided not to become a priest. I ended up donating all those books to a local seminary. But I was always interested in old books. And then when I got into my own business, I started looking, and I used that background of looking for old books, and I knew all the sources to find old books. And I started looking at some old business books. I was always interested in business, so I started picking up some of these old books, and now I've got a library. I've got to say at least 500 to 700 books.
Wow.
On old marketing, advertising, sales.
Now, I also went to your site, and I see that you sell a book about eBay.
Yes, I started an eBay business back in 1998. In fact, when I got started online, a lot of what I did was on eBay. I was selling used and rare books on eBay. At the time, in 1998, it was a great market.
How great? Tell me about the good old days.
Well, I'd have a stack of rare books that I'd go out to estate sales, and I'd actually buy books from other rare book dealers. Get home, put 5 or 10 up on eBay, and I'd have them sold before the 5-day auction was over. And it could be a positive cash flow with, anywhere from $500 to $800 a week just putting up used books.
And all you had to do was list the title of the book and the edition and all that.
Yeah, I would list the title. I would put the edition in there. Of course, the first edition's always got the highest prices. Collectors will not buy a second edition of a book. And as long as the dust jacket is present, rare books without dust jackets are worth very little unless they were originally published without a dust jacket.
Okay.
And I put those up on eBay, and if the dust jacket was in good shape, and the reason that collectors will pay more for a dust jacket in good condition is because it's so rare to find an older book, especially with the dust jacket intact.
Well, how far back did they have dust jackets? I thought old books never had them. I thought that's why when you go to an old bookstore, you just have the hardbound cover. You may have the gold foil printing on it, but did a lot of rare books have dust jackets?
Yeah, they really did. Going back, in fact, I think I have on my shelf one of the oldest books printed in the United States with a dust jacket on it, and that was in 1885.
Wow.
Dust jackets at that time were simply there to keep dust off of the hardcover book.
Did they have printing on them?
Usually just the title.
People want those dust jackets for resale value or for collector value.
Yeah. Well, what happened was, as dust jackets were printed on most hardcover books between the late 1800s to the 1920s and 30s, people would throw away the dust jacket. They say, oh, the dust jacket is just a wrapping, kind of like a wrapping of a present of some kind. And they normally didn't keep the dust jacket. Or those who did keep the dust jacket, because they would take the book off the shelf or put it back on the shelf, it would get ripped and torn and shredded, and eventually it would get thrown away. So it's very rare to find good, rare first edition book with a dust jacket on it and premium prices paid for them.
I see. So where did you learn how to give a book a value, or when you came across an estate sale and you saw a lot of books, you may not have known the authors or what they were about. How did you determine what they were worth? Is there some resources online, or at that time, how did you know or learn what was worth treasure and what was not worth much?
Well, there's a couple. Patricia Ahern and her husband publish a book every year called Collected Book Values. Mm-hmm. And that is a standard reference source for collectors and dealers. And what it does, it will go through thousands and thousands of used books. It will tell you who the publisher is, some signs to look for to make sure that it is a first edition, and the retail value of the book in there. And I use that as a reference, but normally when I'm out in the field, it's a kind of a big book, so I don't really take it with me.
Do they have an online version?
I don't think they do. They only have a printed version, and you can buy it at the website or on Amazon. I've never seen it online.
So that was your main guide. I mean, does it reference hundreds of thousands of books?
I'd say thousands, and they're mostly from the 1940s or earlier.
So what would you do if you went to a estate sale and you saw a bunch of books from in that category?
Well, in general, there are certain categories of books that are always going to be more valuable than others.
Like what?
For example, mysteries, older mysteries from the 1930s and 1920s are always going to be valuable if they're a first edition and they have a dust jacket on them, no matter who the author is.
If there's no dust jacket, it's not worth the time?
Boy, you know what? The dust jacket is 90% of the value of the book. And I came into a first edition of a Dashiell Hammett mystery that didn't have a dust jacket on it. If it had the dust jacket on it, I could have sold it for $500. But it was the first edition, and because the dust jacket was not present, I only got $40 out of it.
Wow.
Hi, it's Michael Senoff with hardtofindseminars.com. Thanks for watching this video. You know, many of my interviews last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes even up to 2.5 hours long. They're actual mini seminars, and you've just listened to a short sample of just one of over 117 hours of exciting, hard-hitting, mind-blowing interviews on how to make money in direct mail, advertising, copywriting. I assure you, there is not a resource anywhere anywhere on the internet or on the planet that comes close to the free information I provide at hardtofindseminars.com. So go right now to hardtofindseminars.com and you'll have free access to 117 hours of audio interviews with typed word-for-word downloadable transcripts and downloadable MP3 files. Please browse some more of the videos or go right directly to hardtofindseminars.com. Thanks for watching.